Hi there, this is Pete Kartu from the Tres Mambo Latin Music School from Sydney, Australia. However, right now I'm in Morocco and I've been travelling for the last 6 months and I haven't had much time to catch up on any of the videos and things I've been trying to post on YouTube, help a few people out with their learning curve on the trumpet. And about a recent scope, now that I'm just in between tour dates here, I have a little bit of downtime, so I've been looking around the internet there and see many postings about, problems. Okay, people have this problem. Very few postings about solutions. I, however, really am into solutions rather than re-explicating the problem, because most people can work out the problem for themselves. Okay, so one of the things we keep finding on all those internet postings all the time is people have a lot of crisis about, am I playing with the mouthpiece in the right place on my face? And the reason for that tension in their thinking is that they're scared that they'll get used to playing in a particular place that might not be the best place, and then it'll be very hard to change later. So my experience of this, I've been playing trumpet maybe 30 years. I've played in all sorts of places on my face, okay? After bits of dental work and stuff, I've found I've had to change the place I was playing and so on. So I would generally subscribe to the school of thought that the mouthpiece position is not so critical in terms of, yes, you can play. Put it anywhere on your face, and you work with it long enough, you'll eventually be able to play. But that being said, it also has to be recognised that playing the trumpet is generally hard work, and that it behoves us, as educators or people with an inquiring mind, to think, okay, well, how can we make it easier? Because if we make it easier, then with the energy on offer, be that muscular or wind or mental or whatever, we can play higher, harder, longer, more musically challenging, okay? So basically I think there is something to be said for trying to make the trumpet as practically easy as possible to play. Okay, so in light of that kind of thinking, I devised this very simple scheme so that you can find out the best place for you to be playing your particular mouthpiece. Now, if you think about this for a moment, why is this mouthpiece position so critical? Well, if we look at the mouthpiece, it's perfectly machined and symmetrical. And if you look at the mirror or look at the face of any of your trumpet buddies in the trumpet section, you'll see the lips, the teeth, the jaws is nothing but symmetrical. So we're trying to interface this crazy looking human object with this machine thing. So you can see that it can be done because, the lips are quite soft, and if you kind of ram it on there, you'll eventually seal up that mouthpiece, and if you blow like hell, you'll make the thing work, okay? But obviously, if we can seal up or make contact with that mouthpiece with the minimum amount of adaptation on the part of our face and particularly our muscles, then it means it'll be less hard work. It means we'll be able to play longer, louder, whatever it is you're looking for in your trumpet playing. Okay, so that then led me to realize there's a very simple way we can do this. If we start off as a preamble, if you just blow plenty, heaps, okay, and move the mouthpiece around, you'll get a sound no matter where you put it. Maybe you might just want to lick the mouthpiece to do this. Up, down, to the side, doesn't matter. Now, I'm not particularly making an embouchure or anything, I'm just putting lips together how they naturally are and blowing, okay? And if you blow heaps, you'll find you'll make sound out of the mouthpiece. Now, if we reduce the air a little, okay, you'll find that some spots will no longer vibrate. And some will vibrate more strongly than others. In other words, you'll get more return for the same amount of blow. And if we follow that through and reduce the air a little bit more, again, we get less spots. So let's keep on following that process through. Now I'm down to about 2. happens to be one on this side, one on this side. Let's reduce it another notch. So now I'm down to just a whisper. And now I find on this spot, for whatever reason, I don't know, it's more responsive. Okay, so I think that if you do that kind of a player experiment, you will very quickly find for yourself what the best place is for you to play. And it might be off to the side, it might be up or down, but it doesn't matter. The point is that that's the most responsive, if that is the most responsive spot on your face for that mouthpiece concern, then that should be your departure point. And once you've found that spot, you can then work that spot in conjunction with the trumpet, not necessarily on the mouthpiece, to become resilient, so it can take heaps of air because that's an important factor in playing the trumpet, and it can become responsive, so it could be a big hole, small hole, whatever, as happens when you play soft, loud and different things. But the point is, you know, the departure point is what is the most responsive spot on your face. In other words, what's the bit of your face that plays the trumpet most naturally without you having to make any adaptations. Yes, there will be adaptations in learning to play the trumpet, but they'll be minimized if we start from the easiest point. So I'll just go over that again. Blow heaps. Blow a bit less. Blow a bit less again. If you blow too little, you might get no spots. So ramp up the air a little bit more. But you just keep working that thing until you become convinced what is the one best spot for you. Now, I would advise, do this today and make that your playing spot for today. Do it tomorrow, the playing spot might be the same, it might be a little bit different, but just go with it for that day. So over the course of a week or doing this, you know, it might be a little bit sort of floating around. But just do that before you start playing once and then forget about it. Just stick to that spot as much as you can. If by the end of the day you've felt that it's moved, okay, that's what happens, okay. But if you keep doing this once a day before you start doing your practice, after a week, it'll start to settle down. I think after about 3 or 4 weeks, judging by having done this with a lot of my students, it'll be really sort of set and you'll say, yeah, that's it. I don't have to worry about that thing again. Now, speaking about experiments, we've done this experiment on many of our students who are actually quite happy with the mouthpiece playing. Never even thought there was any reason to change it or whatever. And when they've done that experiment, they've pretty well come up with the spot where they've always played. No problem. We've had some other people who've always felt uncomfortable with the way a mouthpiece sits. You know, it's pressing on their teeth, or you know, their lips are going numb or whatever. They haven't been happy with it. And in almost all of those cases, they've found some other spot which they're going, oh, that's so much easier. Oh, why didn't I always play there? So the reason is, well, not the reason, but the point of this is, I don't think we can say this is the way to play. This is the way the trumpet mouthpiece should go on the player's face. But that's an assumption that a lot of students have. They look at their teacher and they think, well, I want to play like that, and so that's where I'm going to put the mouthpiece. And a lot of times that just doesn't work. So the whole point about this is to try and take some of the voodoo out of teaching and learning the trumpet and give you some simple experiments, okay? So I'm not telling you where to put the mouthpiece on your face. I want you to find the best place for yourself and then work with it. So I do hope this helps. Talk to you later. Ciao.